Hello and welcome to this week's video. And as we rapidly approach the year end of 2023, it's a great time as always to reflect on the magical experiences that we have had in the last 12 months. And most importantly, the products that have graced the halls of Elite Audio that have not only surprised us in the best way possible, but really stood out from the crowd in a way that makes them true audiophile products, the ones that we ourselves would be delighted to have in our portfolio. So for our next 3 videos, we will be devoting our time to showing you the ones that really excited us beyond all levels of excitement and why they have gained the accolade of a product of the year. So to find out the first 7, please stay tuned because all is about to be revealed. For those of you that watched last week's video, you would have seen we did a review on the Eversolo DMP A8, and of course, in that video, we declared and awarded it our best streamer up to £3,000. And that is quite an achievement. So the first category, being the streamer up to £3,000, was indeed the Eversolo DMP A8. It has wowed us here in all aspects of its performance. I've got to say, as I said in last week's video, dragging myself away became more and more difficult as the unit became more and more burnt in, and you could really start to appreciate just the beautiful way that this streamer presents music. This is something that I believe is a benchmark now for all streaming devices in that price range. And as a caveat, just so that people watching this video understand, these awards are based on our own portfolio and also that of our sister company. So there are many devices that we've managed to compare. So, of course, with all awards, it is entirely subjective to our listening experiences, but these awards are based on the feedback from the staff here at Elite Audio, who I have to say have all got a very finely tuned hearing. Their ability to detect subtle nuances in certain aspects of audio presentation is quite remarkable. So I've got to say, a product to pick up an award here with us has to be doing something exceptionally well. So as I say, the first award, very well deserved, and one of the newest products to actually come through our doors this year. We only got the first one a few weeks ago, is the Eversolo DMP A8. We now move on to an amplifier that I have to say is one of my all-time personal favourites, and it has utterly shocked me how good this amplifier is. So this is in the category of the best integrated amplifier up to £15,000. I've known this brand for many years, as I'm sure most of you have. It's something that has a tremendous heritage. It all started, I would say, in its truest sense with the first New Vista products that they brought out. And if you watch some of our previous week's videos, you will know that we've discussed this amplifier before and discussed the New Vista valves, which is what makes this amplifier unique. So the award for the best integrated amplifier up to £15,000 is the Musical Fidelity New Vista 800.2. Now, I had a feeling this was going to be a great amplifier. It's vastly improved upon the old model. It's got a brand new front fascia. The build and construction of this amplifier is one of the best you will see at any price point. I've looked at amplifiers costing £30,000, £40,000, £50,000, and the build on this would shame some of those much more expensive options. However, it's not all just about the incredible 300 watts per channel that this amplifier can produce, and that is certainly a very significant headline figure. It's the way that it produces music, which is why I absolutely love this amplifier. It's one of those amplifiers that is never fatiguing, but never dull or boring, and that's a very fine line that audio engineers have to walk, because sometimes when we strive for refinement, the risk there is we take it far too much the other way, so everything becomes a bit too rolled off, a bit too safe is the word I would use, and we end up with a boring presentation. On the flip side, however, when we strive to bring excitement and drive and intensity to the sound, the risk there is we make it far too bright, far too clinical, and then ultimately fatiguing, which again is a very undesirable trait for any audio device. But where the musical fidelity excels is it is right in the Goldilocks zone. It is beautifully refined. The level of detail and texture is staggering for any amplifier at this price point, and it just simply makes you want to listen to your music recordings. It's never bright or clinical, but it's never dull or boring. It's just a remarkable device. The scale, the depth, the holographic presentation, the exemplary build quality make this amplifier an absolutely true superstar. So if you ever get a chance to audition one, I would without hesitation recommend it, because it without doubt gets our Best Integrated Amplifier up to £15,000 award for 2023, and it does so with a remarkable, I would say, what's the word, domination over the competition at that price point. I've not heard anything that looks as good, sounds as good, and will give you the hours, weeks, months and years of musical enjoyment. So a well-deserved award there. So we are going to stay with integrated amplifiers, and this award is for the best integrated amplifier up to £3,000. Now, I think if you just need to do one quick search on Google and you will bring up probably hundreds of amplifiers that fall into this price category. This amplifier, I would say, shocked every single one of us here. The first time we auditioned it, we knew we were hearing something very, I mean, the word special doesn't actually do it justice. In fact, I just read in the current issue of HiFi News the review that they've published on this amplifier, and I actually picked up their HiFi News Outstanding Product Award and scored 88%, which is an exceptionally high score for them. And again, it comes from Musical Fidelity, and it is the A1, the classic designed A1 from the 70s. It's a 25 watt pure Class A amplifier. There are no bells and whistles on this amp. It's got a very basic remote control. And in fact, I think when HiFi News measured its output, I think it was over 30 watts pure Class A. But we've tested this with some really difficult loudspeakers, and the first thing that strikes you is the dynamic headroom this amplifier has, which for a 25 watt or 30 watt pure Class A is remarkable. I've heard from other brands their Class A offerings, and there's one brand in particular which I won't mention, but we had one of their amps as a part exchange recently, and it is also a pure Class A 20 watt per channel, and it just runs out of headroom so quickly. You try to play any kind of what I would call above normal listening level volume if you want to have a little bit of drive, if you're in another room and you want to hear your music, this just starts to distort incredibly badly. Yet the Musical Fidelity, it just keeps getting louder and louder, and there is no stress in the sound. It is just so beautifully musical. It's one of the most engaging and musical amplifiers I've heard at this price for a very long time, and it is astonishing for its price point. There's no DAC in the amplifier, so you know, if you want a streamer DAC or whatever, this is definitely not the amplifier for you. But what it does have is musicality, and that to me is the part that will win you over every single time you hear it. we've had clients been in here the last few weeks who have had the opportunity to pop into our listening room and hear it for themselves, and every one of them has been utterly astonished. Firstly, because how hot the thing runs, you can literally fry an egg on top of it, but that's part of its Class A appeal for some people. But the most important thing is the way it presents music. It is warm but not too smooth. It has beautiful bass extension. It's just a beautifully sounding and well-built amplifier. So again, for the best integrated amplifier up to £3,000, it's an easy win for the A1. I've not heard anything like it, and in fact the thing that HiFi News said that really stood out were the scale and dynamics of this amplifier. So this easily wins this category. So we move back to the digital domain again, and this category is the best DAC up to £6,000. Now, a few weeks ago, we ran a video, an unboxing video, and then an introduction to this particular DAC. And it uses very old DAC technology. The chipset is originally from the 80s. It uses the TDA 15418 chipset, and this DAC is from Audio in Serbia. This DAC has, without question, redefined for me how a DAC should be implemented at this price point. Now, for some people, it may not appeal because it'll not do MQA hardware or DSD. But to me, that's a moot point when, if you stream it as most people would normally, a signal from Qobuz or Tidal, which is going to be 24-bit, 192, it'll do up to 384 kilohertz actually. But what this does, it presents you with one of the most analog sounding digital devices that I have heard for a very, very long time. And without giving away how many years I've been in this industry, it's more than 20. Also give my age away too, potentially. This just surprises you with every single listen. The build is astonishing. It's an absolute credit to Pedja, who is the main designer and owner of the company. This should cost twice the price that it is, and it would still command the purchasing from the people that listen to it, because there is no question when you hear this DAC, you will want to buy it. It genuinely is that good. I found myself listening for hours and hours with this DAC, playing musical pieces that I've not listened to for a while, because it makes you think, oh, I wonder what that will sound like. Oh, I wonder what this will sound like. And I know for me personally, the second that any device makes me have that emotional connection where I am genuinely looking forward to hearing what else it can do, that speaks volumes. So again, another very easy win for this DAC in this category. So the best DAC up to £6,000, the Audio S5. Okay, we move on to loudspeakers now, and this category is the best loudspeaker up to £1,500. Again, this is a new brand to come into the Elite Audio showroom, and it's from the French company Revival Audio. Now, when I saw the retail price of this loudspeaker, you have a perception, or perhaps, based on past listening experience, we have this idea of what something might sound like, and boy, was I in to have my thoughts proved completely wrong, because the Sprint 3 from Revival, which retails at under £1,000, which in fact they're sat right here. Here I am sat right next to the award winners themselves. They are just unbelievable for this price point. I've heard many speakers around this price, and some are quite good, but this takes the I would say, what we consider the performance should be for a speaker at this price point to an entirely different level. So it is something that will easily exceed your expectations. The thing that I love about it is incredibly holographic. I love the traditional styling of this speaker. I think it is a style that will fit in with most room aesthetics. But more importantly, it's a very easy speaker to match because it's a very efficient speaker in its category, meaning that your amplifier will have lots of dynamic headroom. But where it grabs you is in the, and I'll use the word authenticity. The authenticity of the presentation is so incredibly natural, it's engaging, very holographic. You'll not find that the bass is being overtly overdriven or indeed overstated, which a lot of loudspeaker manufacturers try to create a sense of bass, and it becomes overblown and it's not musical. The balance from top to bottom in this speaker is absolutely perfect. If you heard it blind and you didn't know how much it cost, I will guarantee you would think it was more than £3,000. That's how good it is. It's actually picked up the Ear Best Buy Award, and just a quote. I don't always like using quotes from reviews, but they said Revival has another winner in the Sprint 3 and one which could easily cost a great deal more, which really backs up what I just said. It outperforms its price. It's a fantastically made loudspeaker, designed and built in France. You will be impressed if you hear a pair of these, and at the price, it just defies logic. But there you go, a true audiophile bargain and an easy winner in this category. So there we go, the best loudspeaker up to £1,500, the Revival Audio Sprint 3 stand mount. Okay, 2 more categories to go in this particular video. As I said, we have 3 in total. There are 21 awards that we'll be giving out. 7 in this video, 7 in the next, and 7 in the video after that. So we now come on to an analog award category, and it's the best turntable up to £1,500. And I think, again, if you've watched our past videos, you will know that I have stated I have had, I would say, a love-hate relationship with vinyl. When it's done correctly, it is one of the most rewarding ways to listen to music, but sometimes to get there requires an incredible amount of patience, time, and of course hours of your life you will never get back as you try to get the setup the way it should be. This all goes from things like the tracking weight, the azimuth, the VTA, and so on. The cartridge head alignment, it just goes on and on and on and on, and sometimes to get to that point, and I am somebody who I think probably I would class a complex turntable as my nemesis, because I will spend hours tweaking it, fine-tuning it, trying to find the best sweet spot. And then I was introduced to the Project X1B. Now, for some people it's maybe a bit too basic, but it's a true balanced turntable, which in itself is quite unusual. And we did a video on it a few weeks back, and we tested it with the matching Project Phonal box, the RS, which again is true balanced, and with a very inexpensive cartridge. Digging out some of my old vinyl that I've not listened to for a while, I found myself literally stuck, unable to move from my own audio system at home. And in fact, as I'm telling you this, that Project X1B is still in my system at home, and I'm very reluctant to remove it. Yes, it's not a high-end turntable, it's not trying to be either, but what it is, if you like vinyl the way that I remember it, which is about the musical enjoyment, the engagement, but this turntable actually picked up an AV Forum's Best Buy Award, and what they said was, truly outstanding dynamics, helping every aspect of its performance. It's well made and easy to use, and I'll come back to the easy to use part in a second, and it's keenly priced. It just ticks so many boxes. It is so easy to use. Literally, we took ours out of the box, followed the instructions, didn't even use tracking scales, just followed the way they say to set it up, and within 10 minutes was listening to my vinyl and couldn't be happier. I also noticed that when it got towards the end of the album, that can sometimes happen with some very expensive turntables if the setup is wrong, there was zero distortion on any channel. And anybody watching this may be nodding your head saying, yeah, I know what he's talking about, I have been there, and I have then had to go back through different aspects of setup to try and eradicate that. We've all perhaps used the HiFi News test record to do our setups, and we can literally spend hours. It's like trying to tame a stallion sometimes with a turntable. You are trying to control it, it's trying to control you, and sometimes you're lucky you meet in the middle and everybody's happy. But what I loved about this X1B was just how easy it was. Literally, it is almost as simple as buying a CD player. Almost plug and play, not quite, but as close as I've come to on a turntable. And I just love the sound. So, compared to other turntables I've heard around this price, Project have produced an outstanding product at a really affordable price, I think, for what it does. And that is the part that allows me, without any hesitation, to award it the best turntable up to £1,500. Finally, for this week's video on the 7th award that we are giving out today, we're staying with analog and we are looking at the phono stage aspect of analog. This category is the best phono stage up to £6,000. Now, I've had experience of this company for many, many years, and people that have owned any of their devices, whether it's an amplifier, in fact some of their earlier digital products that they used to do, will know they are built extremely well, they're fantastically engineered, but the most important thing that makes them stand out is the sound. So this is the category, the best phono stage up to £6,000, and we're awarding it to the Modrite PH9X. Now, there's a standard PH9, we have the X, there's now an upgrade to that as well, but for me the sweet spot is with the 9X. The next model up has an upgrade power supply, and that does bring a new level of performance too. However, I feel in all honesty that this is one of the best phono stages that I have heard. Again, it got a HiFi News award. What they said was that you need to hear it to really appreciate just how good it is, and I've never read a more, I would say, appropriate statement about a product in the review, because once you get this in your system, you will never want to take it out again. It takes, well, phono stage's job is really just to give you what the cartridge is picking up from the record without adding anything in or taking anything away, to the point that what you want to hear is the original recording. So it's all about keeping the noise floor down and delivering tonally correctly the recording itself, and that for a phono stage is a lot more difficult than people realise, and it requires an incredible investment in time from Dan at Modrite to get it to that level. The hours and hours and hours and hours of time it takes to perfect and fine tune a product like this is unmeasurable. But that's what comes from someone that is passionate, who truly cares about what people hear when they listen to the product that they have put their soul into to design for your listening pleasure. And this is one of those exceptional products that I feel comes along every so often that takes you by surprise. And for us here at Elite Audio, this is definitely one of those eureka moments when you plug in a PH9X, you're like, wow, this is special. So again, a very easy win in this category. The Modrite PH9X, the Elite Audio, best phono stage, up to £6,000 for 2023. So, there we go. First of 3 videos in our awards. It's an absolute pleasure to have listened to all of these products this year. They are truly remarkable and unique in their own category and how they produce music. if it's something we've recommended, you can be certain if you were to purchase any of these, you would not be disappointed. But what we will do, as always, we take our time to fully understand your needs and requirements to make sure that what we are recommending will work perfectly with what it is that you're looking to achieve, both in terms of sound, aesthetics, and of course, naturally, a budget. And as always, with all our week's videos, firstly, I want to thank everybody who watched our Ever Solo video last week. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend that you do. The DMP A8 sets a brand new standard for that category. I also appreciate those of you that took time to write a comment. We have striven to reply to all of them. I also thank those that emailed me directly. Here is my email address. If you want to write to me, I will reply to every single email that you send in. And if you've got any questions, even just looking for some general advice about your own system, that's something that I love to give and I'm very passionate about doing, as is all our team here at Elite Audio. And now, a very small favour to ask. If you are enjoying the content of our videos and it is something you wish to see more of, please subscribe. It takes a few seconds. It means a great deal to us here at Elite Audio. All your comments and feedback and support matter so much to us as a small family business. And it is a privilege for me personally to work with such a team of passionate and creative people, but also those that really care about you and your experience of all the products that we can supply. So yeah, take a few seconds, subscribe to our channel. It really means a great deal. And our commitment is we will continue to deliver weekly content. There will be a potential break between Christmas and New Year due to holidays and staffing and so on, but we will be back again in the new year with part 2 of our awards video. We will also this year be exhibiting at the Bristol HiFi show. So I'll bring the dates up on screen, put it in your diary. I've been to the show many times. We will be exhibiting there. Our main amplification will be Electro Compagnie. We will also be exhibiting Revival audio products, Aqua products, Antipodes, and the cabling will be from Zenzati, mains will be Puritan, and we will have networking from SOTM and so on. It is going to be a fantastic show, so we will tell you more about that in the weeks to come. We will have a video dedicated purely for the Bristol HiFi show. But get it in your diary, come along and speak to us. We will love to meet you on the day. It'd be so nice to meet those of you that perhaps have seen us in the videos but haven't actually met us or talked to us, so that will be something to really look forward to. Finally, I want to wish you all a great week listening to music as we head towards the festive period. There is never a better time to sit and enjoy our musical collection and the wonderful audio devices that we have in our systems at home that make all of that possible and highly enjoyable. And the last thing I want to say is thank you, all of you, for all the support you've given us this year. It has been a remarkable year for us. I think it's fair to say that as a business, we would never be here without the support that you have given us. And to say we appreciate it is actually an understatement. Every single person that works here, and it makes me, I have a sense of pride in saying this, that I don't think I've ever worked with such a dedicated and focused team of people ever, anywhere in my life before. And each one of them deserves the praise and accolade that I think they should have because of the effort and the hard work they've put in. So there's a thank you for me personally. If any of my team are watching this, thank you so much from me. I'm grateful for everything you've done. And thank you for watching this video this week. It does mean a great deal to me too, to know though that you're watching this video. The feedback and comments you give us is fantastic, and please keep all that coming. So I wish you all a great festive period. Enjoy your music. Please stay tuned. We've got lots more planned for the new year. We've got some exciting videos in the pipeline. We've got some great streamer comparisons again, which I know you guys love. So naturally, we want to give you what you want to watch. We'll be putting the Ever Solo DMP A8 up against some pretty weighty competition in terms of price to see how far Eversolo have pushed the bar in terms of performance. Can't wait for that one too. Thanks for watching, please take care, and I'll see you in the next video.